This is David with the Paranormal Sessions podcast. I have three things I need to cover today. The first thing is periodically I've had people ask, if I can help them reach loved ones on the other side, and I've said for years, no, I don't want to do it. I mean, I did help this one woman 2 years ago, and I thought, well, maybe I will, but then I just said no. Well, recently, this person in Australia reached out to me because I had posted on this one social media platform, and I can't even remember what the post was, but he reached out to me, and I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't do that. Maybe I will down the road. Well, for some reason, when he reached out to me, I started thinking, maybe I should try to help people, reach their loved ones. And the more I thought about it, I go, I've read stories, about how some people are taken advantage of. And I don't want to just pick like on psychic mediums or mediums because I'm a psychic medium, but there's bad people in any profession. So it's not like just for mediums or psychic mediums. So I decided I am going to do it, but, it's going to probably take a while to get everything set up and all that. And actually, I'm probably not going to do very good at it, not with regards to reaching people. That I'm not concerned about. What I'm concerned about is like when I get someone and the person that want me to reach out to is an earthbound spirit. And for people who aren't familiar with that, like this one woman I had helped a couple years ago, when she asked me to reach out to her longtime boyfriend, I realized he was having a hard time trying to reach me. So the next day I text her, I go, did he die unexpectedly? And she said, yes, he died of a drug overdose. I said, well, he's an earthbound spirit, which means he thinks he's alive, but he's actually deceased. I go, there's nothing I can do for him. I go, until he finally accepts that I'm deceased, he can't reach out to me. I go, he's kind of like half in and half out. I go, and so until that time comes, there's nothing I can do. So periodically, I'm sure I'm going to get some people, I'm going to find out it's an earthbound spirit. I'm going to say, hey, I can't help you. No one can until this person, male or female, realizes that they're deceased. There's nothing I can do. I go, because they're trying to act like they're alive, but they're deceased. I go, it won't work that way. I go, so there's no point coming back to me maybe in 6 months or a year. Maybe they'll figure it out. Because she had asked me, well, how long does it take? I said, it varies. I go, maybe he'll figure it out in a couple months. Maybe it'll be in a couple years. I go, until he realizes he's actually deceased and not alive, then I can help you. But I go, but until then, you're wasting your money because I can't do anything for you. So one thing I decided, and I decided this a long time ago, if I ever do help people, I'm not going to take advantage of people because my soul is worth a lot more than making some extra money. Now, don't get me wrong, if I can at least get back the expenses I put into it, I'm happy. If I make a few extra dollars, hey, that's great. But I'm not doing this to make money because, money, you start making more, you start doing things that maybe you never thought of you would do. And now I'm no angel. I'm not the most righteous person, but I'm not going to risk my soul so I can make some extra bucks. I'm sorry, I just won't do that. But that's going to happen in a couple of weeks. Second thing is, I'm going to start doing this not every Monday, but periodically I'm going to talk about Medium Monday. And these are from my experiences. Now, if someone else does it totally different and you believe it, hey, great for you. I'm just going to tell you the way that it's all worked for me. So a friend of mine told me about someone was like when they talk to spirits that they read off the alphabet or something, and so they can figure out their name's Bob or Joe or Tina or Becky or whatever the case might be. And I go, so they're going through all this trouble just to figure out the spirit's name? He goes, yeah. I go, no spirit ever told me their name, and I've never asked. He goes, why? I go, well, first of all, they're deceased. Why would this deceased person care about whether I know his name or not? The bottom line or the end game is he wants to cross over. So when I pass away, I'm not gonna say, "Hey, my name's David." Does he care what my name is? No. So like when there's deceased people near me, and then they move on, that's all they need to do. I don't need to know their name. I don't care what their names. When you're deceased, I don't think names really matter unless it's your family, your friends, or whatever. The rest, nobody cares about that. I wouldn't care if someone says, "Okay, you need to, this is a light." You go with it. Okay, I'll do that. I'm not gonna say, "Hold it, my name's David." It's meaningless. No spirit has ever been around me that I helped crossed over, and I don't want to say like I'm a beacon or something because that sounds arrogant or conceited. I guess I'm more like a guidepost or a landmark that there then they can move on. But I've never wondered what their name was, and I can almost guarantee you the person who's deceased, he's not going to care if I know what his name is or not. Why would you? You're deceased. And I go, so they go through all this trouble just to get someone's name. Go, yeah. I go, I don't know why anyone would want to. I mean, I know if I reach this person and they're asking me what my name is, why are you wasting my time? I want to get to the other side. I don't care if you want to spend an hour trying to figure out my name. I want to get to the other side. And if you're slowing me down, well, too bad. I'm going to move on. At least that's the way I look at it. But, that's me. So I just wanted to get that out there. So periodically, I'm going to bring up some of these other things that I've seen that it's not how it's a work for me, but it's not like I set the blueprint for everyone. But with regards to names, so just for the record, no deceased person has ever wanted to give me their name, nor have ever asked any deceased person their name. I just help them move on, to the other side. That's it. And I doubt, or I can guarantee you, however long I live for, no one's ever going to say, "Oh, my name's Joe." No, they're just going to cross over. So I just, that's enough of my rant. But I just had to when I heard this, I thought, oh my God. When you're deceased, let's think about it. When you're deceased, do you care if someone knows your name or not? No, you're going to say, "I just want to cross over." Who cares if you know my name or not? I just want to cross over. That's the bottom line. That's the end game. So, maybe other people are going to think I'm wrong. And if it does, put them in the comments. But the last thing I want to talk about is a very dark vision I had about 12 years ago. And that's when I was seeing a lot of bad things. I mean, like nightly. So, and I've mentioned this in previous videos. I used to go see a friend of mine up about an hour north of where I live, and we would go investigating, late at night. And sometimes we get back at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, I didn't drive an hour all the way back. Well, actually, it's a little bit longer than that. I could fall asleep and crash or whatever, so I'd always just spend the night and then get up early in the morning, drive home. And on the way home, I would take this freeway, and on the way home on the freeway, there was a casino on the left. So this one day, it's a Saturday morning, it's a bright day, clear, sunny. And as you come over this hill, there's a long slope, and then off to the left is the casino. So I'm, going down the southbound lane, and as I'm maybe within a quarter mile of the casino, I see this umbrella start rotating towards towards the traffic, the northbound traffic. And I thought, my God, maybe there was a microburst or whatever, and it got loose, and I'm going to see this horrible car crash. These people are going to hit the umbrella. So as soon as it gets to the nearest lane, this car drives right through it. And it didn't register for a second. And it gets into the next lane, and then another car drives through it. And I thought, that's not an umbrella. And it keeps rotating as it's working its way to the median. And I'm starting to think, that's got to be some like evil entity or something. So it keeps rotating, going, since I'm going southbound, it's, going from left to my right. Well, I'm following this white truck, like a moving truck, and I'm maybe 10 cars behind or whatever, maybe closer or farther, I don't know. But anyway, as it's driving, it keeps rotating farther into the southbound traffic or lanes. So right when that truck comes, the black, which looked like an umbrella, gets sucked right into the truck. And I thought, that's not good, because I know that's evil. That's not something good. So I thought for a second I'll speed up and then try to give him a pullover. But what am I going to tell the man? Like, I'm a psychic medium and I saw this black entity go into your truck. He's going to think, I have mental instabilities, which if someone told me that, I'm sure I'd probably think the same thing too. So I just followed him, and then I turned off and he went on. Excuse me. But later that night, I really thought about it. I said, the reason why I was shown that is that that person wasn't going to wake up in the morning ever. That's the only thing that makes sense, because the more I thought about it, that's what started coming to me, that he was never going to wake up, or maybe it was a woman. I assume it was a man driving the truck, but maybe it was a woman. I don't know. But whoever was driving, they weren't going to wake up in the morning ever. And and it kind of bothered me for a day or two, because that's what evil does. They want you to see the worst possible things so they can break you down. And it did mess with my head for a day or two. Now, if I saw it again, it wouldn't have as much impact. Not that if someone, passes away, I'm not going to say it's no big deal, because it is a big deal, but, you slowly get desensitized to all this. And that was probably the worst thing. There's actually one other incident, but I got to figure out how I can explain this, because this is really complicated. But that's a whole other story. But I wanted to cover that. That's how true evil works. When I see these channels where every week it's a demon, it's a poltergeist, it's a actually, some of these channels, and I'm not going to name which ones, when I watch them, I start laughing, because it's actually entertaining, because the ways that they have to try to figure out to explain all these things, it's, I find it rather entertaining. Because in the very beginning, I used to watch them, it used to make me, not mad, but irritated that, they're putting in this information out. But then now, I just find it kind of funny that, I don't know, maybe I'm just the outlier, but I don't see demons every week. I mean, I've seen 7 demons now in 14 years. And I hope to God I never see any others. But these other ones, it's every week and all this. And the ones I really kind of enjoy is, they have the little, motion activated sensors with their team, and as soon as they go off, they start running around. I find that kind of, because for me, when I investigate, like I can't decide if I'm gonna go to the Hotel Vendome in Prescott or the Hotel Copper Queen in Bisbee, Arizona. I set up the night vision cameras, excuse me, and you know what I do? I just basically sit there, or I just walk around within the room, because if there's evil, which there is, they come after me. I don't have to sit there and set off these motion sensors. So all I ever take is night vision cameras. I've never bought any EMF, these REM pods, these motions. I don't need all that. Because if you're a true psychic medium, they're going to come after you, period. And since at one time, when I was very young, like 16 years old, I seriously thought of becoming a priest. That's really bad. That's what they either want to come out to people who thought about becoming priests or ex-priests or whatever. So I know wherever I go, I just set up the cameras and then they'll come at me. The way it goes. But like I said, I'm going to cover these things like on Medium Mondays when I run across some of these other ones. But when I saw this about the whole name thing, I just really thought, so I go, now, is it me? Or when you pass on, do you want to just pass on to the other side? Or do you want to spend time to someone figure out what your name is, your first name? I mean, seriously, are you going to spend the time like, hold it, I don't want to cross on the other side, because I want to know that he knows that my name's David. Does that make sense to anyone? I mean, think about that. I don't care. When I pass on, I just go, if he says, okay, there's the light, okay, I'm going to go. I don't care if his name is Bobby, Joe, Tam, Tina, whoever. I just want to get to the other side. I'm not going to spend time, him trying to go read through the alphabet to tell me to figure out what my name is. When he told me that, I thought he was joking. They go, no, they actually did. I thought, okay, you know. But in all the years I've helped people cross over, not one person has ever told me their name, nor have I ever asked anyone their name, nor will I ever ask them their name, nor will they ever tell me their name. They just want to cross over. It's the bottom line, the end game, crossing to the other side. I'm not going to worry about, what was your name? Not Bob. It was, Bill or. So I'm sorry. I could go on a long time about this, but when I heard that, I thought I just got to bring that up. So periodically on Mondays, I'm going to talk about some of the things, and whether you agree with them or not, hey, I like all comments, whether they're bad or good. But this one I think is a no-brainer. Why would anyone want someone to know their name if they're already deceased? The only ones who are going to care is loved ones or friends and family. That's it. Nobody else cares. I wouldn't care, but that's me. But I appreciate everyone watching, and thank you.